alternative medicine healthcare needs, Dr. Danny Quarento customizes treatments, which may include acupuncture, oriental medicine, natural allergy elimination technique, neuro-emotional technique, classical homeopathy, anti-arthritis technique, and nutritional lifestyle guidance. Take your first step to freedom. Call the Alternative Medicine Family Care Center, 778-8877. Achieve your own personal excellence with Dr. Josefina Monasterio's series of audio cassette training tapes. Personal development, dynamics of attitude, affirmations, happy is happy, and meditation. Plus, order Dr. Josefina Monasterio's Achieving Personal Excellence Training Manual. Call the Alternative Medicine Family Care Center, 778-8877.
Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.
Welcome back to Empowerment with Dr. Josefina, and I'm Laura Guttridge. Today's lesson is basically about thinking positive thoughts, and you know, it's funny because it's just as easy, if not easier, to dwell on negative thoughts. So we really do kind of have to train ourselves, our brains, to back away from the negative thoughts and think about the positive thoughts, because I think when things are going well for us, we just, you know, kind of we don't appreciate that enough. But when things are going bad, then we really dwell on it. We don't really dwell on happiness.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in order to, you know, keep that momentum, I think it is important to have these positive affirmations and thoughts of, you know, things that are good and you know, positive, and so we can build on that and keep it rolling, and instead of the negative. And then when you dwell on the negative, it's like that downward spiral.
It's very negative.
Yes.
You see the difference when you think in positive and then when you think negative.
Right.
So, you know, you feel depressed, you feel down, you feel like you're good for nothing, you feel helpless. And when you think positive, it's all excitement, it's all power, it's the energy, it's enthusiasm, it's passion. So we have to, basically I see sometimes that, Laura, like you are swimming in an ocean of thoughts. And when the thoughts are wonderful, this ocean is nice and calm. And when you are in this storm, it's all this negative stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's contagious too.
Oh my God.
Because if you're around someone with all those negative thoughts and just darkness,
Exactly.
it does make you a little gloomy too.
Yeah, because it's like you say, it's a black cloud, that darkness. And
Right.
like you said, yes, you're right.
And then in the lesson, you also mentioned that we live in this world that promotes mediocrity, and it's true. Even in our schools, we see it because, you know, we're all kind of just doing the same thing, and the expectations are not very high. They're actually rather low. And so in order to break away from that, you have to, you know, do something special with your life, because it's easier just to go with the flow, like you said. You know, it's very easy to go with the flow. So you have to force yourself almost to not go with the flow, but faster than the flow.
Yeah, you know, because like I said in the lesson, even a dead fish.
Yeah.
So if you go with the flow, then are you a dead fish?
Right.
You know, do you dare to do your own thinking for you, or you allow other people to contaminate you with their negativity, their energy, their stuff? And you can feel it sometimes when somebody is, you know, doom and gloom. You don't want to be close to these people.
Oh, right. And then when you try to break away from that mediocrity you talk about, then people want to squash your dreams, like, oh, you know, you're dreaming too big, that's not going to happen, you're setting yourself up for failure. Well, maybe you are setting yourself up for failure, but you won't know unless you try.
Yeah.
And you got to try to make it happen, otherwise it certainly isn't going to happen, and you're just going to live a life of mediocrity.
And you have to see who's saying that to you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Somebody who hasn't achieved anything in their life, and somebody who has been from failure to failure to failure, is not going to tell me that I cannot go from glory to glory to glory,
Well,
and from
that's true.
success to success to success. So pay attention who's telling you what.
Right, and maybe it's because the reason probably they say that is because it didn't work for them, so they're assuming that it's not going to work for the other person. And
But that doesn't have to be your reality.
Right.
It's their reality. It's their stuff. It doesn't have to
Right.
be yours.
they need to get those DVDs and the CDs and work on their positive affirmations and encourage other people to dream big, and especially your children. You need to encourage them to break out of the mediocrity.
Exactly. You know, watching the Olympics, you know, in the last few weeks, you know, you see the Michael Phelps. I mean, this is a kid that the teachers told his mom, oh, he's not going to amount to anything. He's too hyperactive. Don't expect anything from him. But the mom didn't listen to these people, the naysayers. She followed her own gut feeling. She put the kid in the swimming pool, and there he goes.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
So it's incredible. So you got to pay attention. Who is telling you what? And one of the things with the negative thoughts and the people who are negative is that if you don't pay attention, then you allow them to take you in that direction, which is it doesn't say anything about your power and your potential. It says to you that you have to change your company.
Right, that's true. But sometimes people go with that and stop dreaming because it's easier.
Yeah.
It's very easy to say, oh, well, you know, he's right. It probably is a waste of time and energy. I'll just, you know, give up my dream. Because it takes a lot of work to follow your dreams. And as you say in the lesson, you use a few key words: devotion, dedication, desire, commitment, and passion.
You know, those are the things that you have to embrace.
You do.
If I'm going to embrace anything, I'm going to choose the passion, the commitment, the enthusiasm, the discipline, because that is what's going to take you. Because other than that, you're going to be just like everybody else.
Right, right. And then you've mentioned also a good point that a person who is happy and prospering is a person whose life is constantly moving forward. Even if, say, a dream doesn't pan out the way you want it, well, there are other dreams. I mean, don't just give up altogether on all your dreams, because we can have several dreams. And eventually, I think one of them will hit.
Absolutely. You have to keep going, because what is the alternative, Lauren? To give up?
Right.
To be hopeless? To be depressed? To be, I always say to people, you need to have hope. You have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have to see the silver lining and the black cloud.
Oh, right.
Because that's what keeps you that life power, that energy.
Right, right. And then another good point, that happiness is a product of the choices, and we have to carefully consider those choices, because even one or two bad choices in life can really mess it up for you. And especially like, say, if you're in your retirement years, say, and you don't have much more time for a lot of errors in your life, and if you make one or two bad choices, sometimes you can't recover from that. So it is very important to consider certain important aspects of your life, where a change for one way or another is going to make a big difference in your life.
Absolutely. But also, you're talking about basically, as a frame of aging there, like at a certain age, you have to be more careful. But also, when you look at biographies, you see older people, like the guy who invented the Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was very late in his year when he came out with the formula. And then you study about people who later in their life, they didn't give up. I think what holds people back is that I had a failure here, they didn't work out for me, then I'm going to give up. That's the problem. The problem is having that mindset that because it didn't work out this way now, then I have to give up. Don't ever, ever give up. See, your dreams don't come with an expiration time.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
They don't have, you at this age you give up.
Right.
You give up. No.
Right.
Your dreams don't come with an expiration time.
But I guess my point was that when you're younger, there's a lot more room for error.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but once you have kids and a family and more responsibilities, it's harder to take that jump. But if you're just a guy out there, say, who doesn't have a family to take care of, he might take more riskier choices.
But that's a great point, because also the other side of that is that if you see every failure, every challenge, every setback as an opportunity to grow, to become, to change, so everything comes to what is your mindset?
Right.
No matter what age.
Oh, yeah. And you're the
But
same
isn't
person
that
that you
beautiful,
were back
though?
then, too, right? I feel like I'm the same person that I was when I was 20. I'm just 45 now. But I do feel like I am that same person, so.
Better.
Yeah, better. I know more things, that's for sure. But I feel like when I'm 80, if I make it that long, I hope so, but I feel like I'll still be that same person that I am now, but just only a little bit wiser.
That's the thing. And I think that what gets me excited about life is that regardless of your age, your sex, your gender, your circumstances, always there is a possibility to go even beyond,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
to transcend self, to be the best that you can be. And I think that's the greatest thing about human beings. And if we keep that mindset, if we think that in the terms of possibility, no matter what, I think that's what gives me the power, the excitement of being alive.
Right.
You know, so because it's just like, I can do all things, you know, I don't care how old I am.
Well, I think you are definitely,
Bring it on.
you are the exception, though, without a question.
How many women do you know that at 59 years old started bodybuilding?
I know.
Not many.
And I'll probably never meet another one. That takes a lot of self-motivation in order to accomplish
Because
those
you know,
things.
Laura, because if you accept the limitation of sex, gender, and economic status, then
Right.
you start limiting yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know, like in my case, if I would have thought how poor I was when I was a little kid, I would never made it to this country. But I never thought I was poor. I was rich with my goals, my dreams, my hope, you know, I was very rich in
Right.
that area.
Yeah.
So that's why it's, for me, it's kind of difficult to see myself limited by age, by I was gonna get by sex.
Well, that too. I mean, you know, it is. I hate to say, you know, the man's world thing, but it's harder for a woman. It really is to be taken seriously, and especially in the business world.
Exactly.
But one last point. I know we're running out of time. I liked your comment about creating your own horoscope and astrology forecast.
Absolutely.
I
Isn't
like
that awesome?
Well, sometimes I'll look in the paper and I'll see the astrology, and I'll look at someone else's, and I'll be like, that one's better. So I'm going to take that one. I'm not going to stick with mine.
I create my own. Every morning when I get up, open my eyes, and I know exactly how my day is going to be. I write out my horoscope. It's perfect, awesome, fabulous, phenomenal. So, Mommy, anything else before we go?
I think that's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the lesson. Thank you so much.
Thank
that
you.
was great.
It was.
Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.